Alright, well we got another Snail Shell figure review to do today. And this time it's the new Snail Shell Victoria figure. I don't know how new this is, to be honest, because I usually don't check when these things come out. And plus these are like all in China, so I have no way of knowing. But this seems to be one of the newer ones, and I'm going to say right off the bat, there's some genuine improvements in this over the Tapigal milk tea figure. So stick around for that, and we're going to check out what new stuff they added to this figure. So let's take it out of the box. Actually, before we even take it out of the box, can we just admire the actual box for a second? Like, look at how nice this image is, where it shows the figure. You actually get two figures. So you get this one in the armor, and then you get this one where it's just her in her underwear. So it's essentially the same, almost the same, but there's some subtle differences, and I'll let you know how interesting they are once we continue. Like right here you can see the armor. Yeah, obviously it shows a lot of skin, especially from behind. Like a Victorian or like nun sort of look to it, considering the thing she has on the back of her head. It's a bit hard to see because it's like all black, but you get two figures and a bunch of accessories that we'll look over. And then here's a full look at the Victoria with all the armor. Alright, now let's take it out of the box. Alright, so here are the two figures for Victoria, and we're going to do a quick size comparison, and let's check the height. Okay, so the underwear one in her underwear is about nearly 5.5 inches, almost 5.5, which makes her around like almost 13.5 centimeters. So that's all right. And then the other one is over 5.5 centimeters, so like 5 inches, 5.10, I think, almost like 6. It looks like 5.8. And then that's equivalent to just about 14 centimeters. So slightly taller because of the heels that she's wearing in the other costume. So it's taller than like the actual figure without shoes on, I guess. That makes sense. Alright, and just for comparison, here's the Snail Shell milk tea. You can see that the scale is completely different, even though it's supposed to be from the same brand. Yeah, you can see right here that milk tea is way taller, and that's because she's supposed to be 1/6 scale, but she's more, I'm gonna say not 1/7, but somewhere in between 1/6 and 1/7, because she's more like model kit sized, because a lot of the shoujo, like female model kits, are scaled to around this size, whereas this is more for action figures. So this is actually more like Megami Device or Dark Advent or stuff like that, or even like some Bandai kits. This is more like Figma SH Figuarts type of size. So even though these are from the same brand, the weird thing is that they're two completely different sizes. Even compared to the one with the armor on, which is like a couple centimeters taller, it still doesn't compare to this. Like, this is much taller. It's like a couple inches taller. And her head is a bit bigger too, I think. So interesting what's going on here. They, I guess, changed the scaling so it could match up with other brands, so you can mix and match. So she's too tall, and then these guys are around like the appropriate height for 6-inch scale. So it's pretty interesting. Alright, and just for the sake of comparison, I had these two other figures lying around. So here's the Figma Raido Kuzunoha that by the time you're watching this, it'll already be reviewed, and the SH Figuarts Small Precure Cure piece, which also will be reviewed by the time you're watching this. So, funny enough, Raido is taller than all of them, even though Tapgal Milk Tea is around like the size of a general like female model kit. And then I think the Smile Precure line in particular for SH figures is just smaller than your average character. So look at how small Cure Piece is, and then look at her, and then look at her, you see, right here. Then she's tall, but then Raito is slightly taller, or around the same height, even with the hat on, like ever so slightly taller. So yeah, I just thought that'd make for a fun comparison. Alright, so since she's a bit easier to do, since she's not wearing a whole lot, we'll start off with the lingerie or underwear version of Victoria, so let's get started. So aesthetically, it's pretty on par with the other Snail Shell figure that I've already reviewed. Yeah, so it's on par with the Milk Tea in terms of like overall like look. Like, body-wise, it's around the same. There's some notable differences, like this weird like hip area right here on the Milk Tea being different here. It's more of a smooth curve here instead of like this weird hip like stomach indent. One big difference is that there's a floating piece here for the crotch instead of this single piece of plastic. And you can even see it here in the way they did the butt. This has more of a larger surface area, whereas this has a bit of a more longer like W or V shape of cut, whereas opposed to like this just completely making the legs like covering. You can also see the shoulders are different. Shoulder here is more exposed and looks a bit uglier, especially from the sides or from the front and back. From the sides it looks okay, but from the front you can see the joints. They did the necks similarly, so yeah, they're not doing like adjustable necks, which sucks, but yeah, for the most part, and they're the same. But let's talk about her aesthetic on her own. So aesthetically, going off the images, it does look a bit different. The hair color is more, not green, but it has like gray with like a slight hint of green, I think. Whereas the image itself has like a grayish, maybe beige. I'm not sure what that color is, but it's like a very faint like green tea like kind of green or something. It's very hard to describe, but I know it's not completely gray. It's like an off gray kind of color, like bluish green, I'm not sure. So I think it looks pretty good. The hair is actually kind of soft, so that's nice. The eyes are pretty clear. They look different from the Tapagel Milk Tea's eyes, where her eyes are more wide, and it's a bit more obvious to tell that they're like a three-dimensional piece, like how like dolls or like silicone figures have. Which hers almost look like they're painted on, kind of like a traditional figure, but they are three-dimensional eyeballs. And just like Milk Tea, you can adjust the eyes from what I've seen, but we'll look at that later. So I like the hair, but this little plastic hair keeps getting in the way. Makes it kind of annoying. It kind of gets in front of the face. So it kind of blocks certain angles, see? You can't see her from this side. This black thing for her head looks pretty cool. I like it. It's a bit hard to see. Oh, okay, there's better distance. Yeah, I think that looks fine. They have these golden things right here on the side. They look a little sloppy. It's just kind of like a jumbled mess sort of looking thing, but it is painted. And then the hair has like this braid pattern, like this braid here that connects a little tuft right here. And the rest of the hair is fine. It kind of doesn't look like it makes sense, but yeah, whatever. And then there's like a, I don't know what it is, but it's either like clear plastic or something to kind of give off this kind of glowing or partially faded effect on the hair. It's not completely like solid like this is, but you can kind of see the separation so clearly. But here it almost looks like the hair is fading in, sort of, or fading out. It's kind of interesting. And from the camera, like in person, it has like a reddish pink hue on the face and the skin tone, so it's not completely white. It's like pinkish, but on camera it's kind of hard to tell. You can't really see it. so it's not really doing it justice. The shoulders, hold on, yeah, so the face is fine. I like the eyebrows, I like everything. The neck is the same type of neck they had before, so you can see like the collarbone and everything on the neck. It's a bit hard to see because she's so pale, like damn. There's a collarbone there and it's molded, so you can see that. The shoulders, like the joint part of it, are flatter, so now they don't just pop out and look kind of like, you know what. So that's fine. The arms still have these little strap things, which I guess is their way of like hiding like the joints or something, or the bicep swivel. I wish they could just do one arm that's like segmented like this, kind of like the legs are. But I guess they don't want it to look weird. Anyway, so they have this. There's a bicep swivel here. The joints look fine. The color is actually matching the plastic, so that's good. Here is fine. Like they actually made the wrist end right here and not look like this big fat thing or something. And then it smoothly connects to the hands. The hands have like a weird dark color, like slightly faded color compared to the skin. It's almost like they use a different colored plastic. I'm not sure what's going on with the hand. They have like a really weird color at the end of them. It's really impossible to show you on camera, but it's like different than the actual like hand. It's really hard to tell, but in person you can see it near the fingertips. I don't know what's up with mine, but mine has a smudge here. Very slight, very faint, but in real life you can see it a lot easier. It's right here on the forearm. And then, let's see. Yeah, then she got this frilly kind of like lingerie-esque like underwear. Actually, it has a molded pattern on it, you know, for the actual lingerie itself, and it has no straps or anything. So I think that looks really nice. Goes all the way to the back, to the end of the back of the chest piece. So I think that looks fine. It actually has a little strap right here at the end of it, like a little buckle or strap. And then the neck also has the choker or collar or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, and then the floating piece, it matches the skin pretty well. Like slightly off, like ever so slightly, but you won't really notice it. Like at first I thought this wasn't a floating piece or a separate like torso, like upper body, but good thing I looked at the picture. So yeah, it all connects the underwear on this floating piece, and the butt crack is here or whatever. It closes off here. The legs, it's cut out a bit more to the sides so the legs have more space. I don't like how it doesn't go low enough so that the legs don't just show these big gaps. You see like the thigh gap here, like the little spot right here, see, to show the joints. I wish it would go down a little bit lower, or just make it a little bit taller, so that it covers this slightly, which I don't think it would impede in articulation at all. Oh well. The legs look a lot like the ones I've seen for Dark Advent and Megami Device, which I'm starting to think like they probably just took parts from those. Yeah, so there's segmented legs here, although I think the other figure companies and model kits cut it up slightly higher. But yeah, these are around the same. The knee joints are around the same. Like, these are the same as like the model kits I just mentioned. And then the ankle joint doesn't look too ugly. Looks fine enough. The feet looks fine. The feet also have like a slight coloring difference at the end, and I don't know if it's possible to see on camera, but it's like a more whitish, like pink, like pale color, and it just looks weird. Alright, so that's how she looks for articulation. Her articulation is actually more interesting than the other one. So here's the crazy thing. Okay, well, that didn't go the way I wanted. But they implemented a double ball peg, like a real double ball peg, or the bar barrel. You see, it connects into the head joint, and then this part connects to the neck. So now you actually get a good neck Oh my god, this thing's not focused. So you actually get a good neck finally. It's just annoying to put back on. Implement the double ball peg right here on the neck, and now look at how much range it has. It can even subtly like go back and forth and to the side. Look at that. That's so much better. This is how you do a neck, even if it's a neck that's not going to move. This is how you do a double ball peg neck. Look at this. You can just move wherever. And then compare it to this. Like, what? How is this the same company? Look at this. Like, I showed this before, but this is terrible. Like, look at the difference. You can't even look up. Look at the difference in the necks. Look at the different angles. There's no real contest here. Yeah, so don't do a neck like this, do a neck more like this. Especially even if it's not going to move. It's a lot better. Okay, so unfortunately the chest area still kind of sucks. Still doesn't have much range of movement. Does go back nicely though. It's fine. So it'll do what you need it to do. Side to side is really good. I think they made some I swear they made some improvements. Because I remember this not moving well. Yeah, look at that difference. They must have engineered it differently so they can actually do better. Okay, and then to the other side. It's fine. It just sucks that it can't go forward as much without creating a bit of a gap in the back of it. And just in general, not being able to go back further. So here's another thing that they did that is an improvement. Here's another thing they did that's an improvement over the Tappy Gal. So you see how I mentioned earlier that this is just one single like middle lower body piece? Well, look at this. Floating piece. So you know what that means? Now you can do this. Now you can adjust it a little bit more so that the stomach moves. Not too much because it's not, they haven't given it enough space. And also it creates this gap because they didn't extend this piece or make this tall enough to hide that. But it's a sign that they're improving. So I'll take this over like nothing essentially. So this is an improvement. I don't like this cap though. And it's also hard to put back on, to put it back to normal. You have to like slide it back in. Yeah, you have to essentially slide it back in to try and create the seamless look, but there you go. So, but it does give you better side to side. Which, not like the time in levels of side to side where you could like dislocate them, but look at that. That's pretty good. And then on the other side, you can do the same. Yeah, this is pretty sick. I'm happy about this. Ah. Yeah, I think this is great. So I'm happy about that. Okay, we're almost done with articulation. Oh wait, I fucking forgot the arms. Alright, so the arms basically do full rotation like all the other ones do. The head does get in the way though, and the hair goes out to the sides. A bit more than 90. Goes out to the side pretty high up, so I think it's okay. I think if you lower this, you can kind of, yeah, you can kind of give it a better angle. Still squeaky on at least one side, which I don't like. Bicep swivel right here. So that's good. Pretty standard. Double jointed elbows go all the way to the side. That's crazy. I don't even think this one does that. Oh no, it does, huh? Did I mention that in the previous video? Wow, that's insane. I love that range. Okay, and then the hands are on a typical ball joint peg. Actually, here you can see the discoloring, the miscolor. Anyway, goes up and down, side to side. Well, you can go side to side, but you have to take the hand off. It just has a really tight grip on the hand pegs. Alright, so the arms are good, but let's see, is there any real difference? Major difference. Now the arms can actually cross. Which, again, I know I'm fucking comparing it like every 5 seconds, but... even when you don't take these chesticles into account, you still can't, even when you make it go above it. Like, look at that. The difference is like night and day. Yeah, so it can cross its arms. Good job. I'd say don't stress it too much, because then this happens and you gotta put the joints back in. Alright, so even though I put it back together, it's still like not perfectly aligned, but it'll still function, so it's not like the one on this side, which you can hardly see. See, this is like perfectly aligned together, whereas this one is trying to like pry itself apart. So hopefully it doesn't come off and ruin itself, but the arms can cross essentially, which is great. I guess they forgot to tighten those arms. That's kind of a negative. Okay, so this can move slightly, this can move a little bit better than before. These can cross arms, the hands and finer neck. The neck is, head is good. Alright, what else? So the legs go all the way to the front, but pretty much like 90 degrees. Go to the side, just as good, but you get this kind of ugly gapping, which this figure didn't have, or at least not as much, because they engineered the legs differently, slightly differently. Although this had a tendency to get stuck, and it also had a slight drop down. This doesn't really have that, so there's less like, since it's floating, this has less like plastic covering this area here, so you just see all of the junk, kind of like the Time and End figures. Like you see all the little like pieces connecting to each other. And then of course you get a thigh swivel, which obviously isn't well hidden, but hey, function over form sometimes. And then you get a double jointed knee, which looks really damn good and has a really good range. So you can kick the leg back like that. Maybe it's a little too tall, because I think it should be around here instead of like up to the back, but let me see. I'd say it's about the same. Yeah, somewhere around the same. So alright, they're being consistent. Okay, and then the feet go all the way back, all the way to the front, ankle rocker. Hey, this is good. Ankle rocker again. Toes go weirdly all the way down, and then about this far up. So articulation wise, I'll give it like an 8. Maybe an 8. Like if the torso was better, and this could actually crunch forward and not have an ugly gap or anything, then this figure would be probably on par with the Raido Kuzunoha. Minus like maybe the floating piece not being big enough, but it would be kind of on par with Raido and some other figures I've looked at. where, yeah, it doesn't have the craziest like articulation, especially in the torso area, the upper body area, but it's really damn good. Alright, now we can take a look at Victoria with all her armor on. So first we need to do the measurement. She stands at about, what's that, like 5.5? Like around almost 5, it's like 5.5 inches or somewhere over 5.5. Which means she's about, what's that? 13, around 13 centimeters. So that's pretty good. And for the sake of comparison, here's her without the armor on. It's a couple of inches shorter on this one, but yeah. Okay, so aesthetically, it's gonna feel a little redundant since this is kind of the same character, but you know, gotta be thorough. It comes with both, so I have to kind of do both. Alright, so aesthetically it looks essentially the same since they're more or less the same figure. You see right here. She has a slightly different expression and she's smiling. Like she has her mouth open slightly. But pretty much they look the same. They even have that little piece of hair like in front of their face and everything. Yeah, so Victoria has a lot of armor, and the difference is that she also has this little frill veil thing on the back of her head that's like glued or whatever to the top of this part. Kind of complete the armor look, but let's keep going. So she has this giant fucking piece of chest armor right here, which just seems to hide everything. In the back, well, it's pretty similar to this. Oh my god, this thing is not focusing. Yeah, their backs are similar. This part is definitely the same. This part potentially is the same. But the diaper piece is not on this one, and we'll talk about that in articulation, but let's focus on aesthetic. Yeah, so she has this big chest armor thing, and it actually can be adjusted. If you move, it can be adjusted if you move this out of the way. So you can kind of give the chest some space to move around. Oh shit. Oh no! It came off. Uh-oh. Okay. So we got some technical difficulties. But I managed to put the little peg thing on. So yeah, they don't have the full titties sculpted. They actually cut part of it out. That's so this armor can actually go back in. So I might as well just show you. It has these little peg holes right here, these little ridges. It allows the armor to like go inward. Which I assume you do like this. I'm not sure why it popped out, because it didn't pop out before. Yeah, you see, like, it can be adjusted like this to give the chest more, to give the armor more space, but it's at the risk of it coming off. So be careful with that. Alright, she's fixed now. So now I can actually adjust the armor properly while showing you. I think the problem was that the chest piece was, the upper body here was leaning too far in. You kind of have to give it space. Yeah, so it looks like that. Hard to see. Yeah, but you get some cleavage. Kind of breaks the illusion because you can clearly see that the joints were not, the boobs are not like completely sculpted. But it does make me wonder if this is the same. Like maybe this is just cut off and then it connects to this bra thing, like some model kits do. Whatever. Back to the aesthetic. So, oh my god, the colors here are terrible. Because she's so pale. Yeah, so there's this chest armor, has these different platings on it. Some paint here. So hard to like, show this. I'm gonna have to probably use pictures. Okay, and then here they have this cool plating, which is part of the waist. And then this thing. This can actually be adjusted. And these little side plates here, near the hip area, can be adjusted. Yeah, these can actually lean forward. Like you can actually tilt them forward, which is pretty cool. In this. And then this is a soft plastic. This is a really good soft plastic. I wish Bandai and other companies used plastics like these. Because this kind of reminds me of what they used in the Sasuke SH figure arts for Shippuden, but a lot more flexible. Like, it doesn't bend all the way, but it's soft enough where it won't impede on articulation. And then she has these side panels here that seem to move around. And they're on these like little, it's on a little peg here on the soft piece that connects to the hip. And it can kind of just adjust. So can this. And all the it's like a matte, everything's like a matte finish and it looks super clean. And there's red paint here and here. The plating is very clear and layered. It's all really nice. Has like a bit of a weathered look to it. Although I think this might be a scratch, I'm not sure. It's either a scratch mark or that's intentional. And then there's little white markings here. And then she has these adjustable shoulder pads, which kind of hard to hide, like the little joint thing here. Because it's part of the skin, which is kind of gross. See, like it's part of the skin, which looks weird. But you can probably ignore it. And it comes with this little radar scope thingy. Oh, the colors look better now. It comes with this little radar scope thing. It says Aegis, or Aegis. Little gold plating on the side, some screw looking thing here. More paint detail. Straps for the arm. Like, see, now the straps on the arm make sense. Or at least on this one it does. On the other one it was just kind of there. Yeah, these adjustable shoulder pads I feel like aren't in the best place. Or aren't engineered the best because this chest armor gets in the way. And then she has asymmetrical arms because this one has like a cloth color, so she's wearing like a glove or wrapping on it. And even the elbow joints are different. And then she has this extra shoulder pad, which I don't think is adjustable. Yeah, I think it just stays there. And then some armor plating here with more shiny matte gold and a slightly metallic gunmetal type of gold and a matte black grayish black finish with a hint of brown. I think, yeah, just like a slight hint of brown, I think. I think it's just straight gray. Yeah, and then the gloves with an open finger and an open thumb in this grayish green color. Kind of hard to see, but yeah. Yeah, so aesthetically I gotta bump up the points. I don't know, I don't remember what I gave it, but I'll give it like a... Oh wait, I didn't finish talking about... Yeah, and then it has these two things here. These little armor things on the leg, which also has straps on it, where this one doesn't, it has bare legs. I think these look pretty cool, and they help complete the look. And then of course, the leg armor things here, yeah, they're not like boots, because she's wearing like these plated feet things, or whatever these high heel things are. And these look kind of like boots, but they're clearly just armor with gold trim, like dark gold trim on it, which looks really cool. It only protects the front though. Like, there's nothing here on the back. The back is just bare leg. which I guess fits the look because it's supposed to be naked in the kind of naked looking in the back, but armored in the front. And then there's straps here to connect these aesthetically. It doesn't really get in the way of movement, but we'll talk about that later. And then these things I think are adjustable slightly, so it's kind of hard to see how they put that together. It looks like a foot with a strap on the ankle, which looks kind of bad, kind of messy. Look at this. It's a bit messy there. Like the pieces don't connect. And then the foot, I presume, would connect to the armor on the feet. Yeah, so overall, I think it looks great. It certainly stands out from all the other figures that I've seen. Even more so than, oh shit. Even more so than the Tap Gal, because there's a lot more going on than just a hot babe in a bikini and a green gun, I guess. Yeah, so aesthetically, I gotta give it like a... I don't want to say 9. Oh, also, there's like a weird smudge here. I don't know where that came from. Okay, so I want to say maybe 9, just because it looks so damn good, and everything is like seemingly painted. Like, obviously these even have some paint detail on it. Like, even the little fucking soft plastic pieces. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about this part. And then here's a little arm gauntlet thing. And there's a magnet. And why is there a magnet? Well, you'll find out later. Yeah, so maybe like 8.8 or 9, I don't know. Because the aesthetic looks really good, but the thing is that the articulation is probably not going to be as good. And we'll get into it right now. Okay, so for the head, compared to, so real quick, so you remember, because I didn't record this in one session. This one's head can go like this because it's done a double ball peg, or a barrel, whatever you want to call it, barbell. So it goes like that, and you can basically do what you want even though the neck doesn't move. But since this one has these big shoulder pad things getting in the way, why is this not focusing? These big shoulder pads in the way, and also this thing, let's see if that fucks up the articulation in any sort of way. Surprisingly, no. The shoulders do kind of get in the way, like right here. You see this little thing there? It does kind of get in the way here. It does bump the shoulder pads, but for the most part, I think you'll be able to get away with doing what you want, like to move the head around. So that's fine. Let's see. So same double jointed elbow. Pretty much the same. Maybe a little bit more actually. Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, so that's fine. The shoulder armor doesn't really get in the way of that. How do you fucking put that together? Alright, what about here? Because this is sculpted differently. Unfortunately, you seem to only get 90 degrees because this elbow pad thing gets in the way, which sucks. Yeah, the armor here gets in the way, so you can't make the posing as good as you want it to be, which is real unfortunate. So you only get about 90 degrees or so because she has these big gloves. The big gloves combined with the armor, it just kind of gets in the way. Okay, is side to side any good? Considering all this shit she got on? More or less the same, I think. With all the armor. Oh wait, I forgot the arms, I'm so stupid. Yeah, so the arms can still go about this much. So it can still go all the way to the side, which is fine, but I think this one could do more. And still squeak. Ooh, not looking like a fair comparison now. think it's because the shoulder thing's getting in the way. Oh, wait. Okay, so slightly more. I feel like if I stretch it too much, it's gonna fall out. Okay, so this is about as much as it can go. Upper body can... I'm going all over the place right now. Upper body can move, I think, about as much as the original, or the one without the bikini. I mean, without the armor. So that part bends back, and then this part has even less lean forward because of the breast armor. And I can't really adjust it. No. Alright, so she's not really going to be leaning forward. Even this one I think can lean forward more. Actually no, she can't. Unfortunately for us, there's no waist / like abdomen area. Because you see here, there is one. You can see the separation in the skin, whereas this one is just all one thing. So that means you miss out on being able to do this. It means you can't go like this. You can't do that. And you also can't go this far back due to not having that there. Although to be fair, this thing can't lean forward much. Oh wait, actually no, it can, it kind of can, but this isn't helping. And how well can this thing lean forward? Have fun. Yeah, you can't. I really wish you could just swap it so that you could do that, but you can't. Because all this armor and stuff is connected to this, and the pegs are on the waist, so if it had a separate floating piece, then you wouldn't really need to worry about it, but oh well. Okay, so moving all this armor stuff out of the way, how far do the legs go? I want to say like 90? Slightly less than 90? It's really hard to tell because of all this fucking armor on. But I think it's less than 90. And it goes out to the side, which sucks ass. Because it's not a real kick. A real kick would be able to go forward. I gotta adjust so much of it. Yeah, this armor stuff is getting in the way. So that's about as much as I can get out of it versus this whole thing, which can even go beyond 90. Look at the comparison here. It's not even fair. Yeah, so as cool as this looks, not winning points right now for articulation. Unless I do that. And then it kinda still doesn't have a... Wow, it still doesn't go 90? Wow, that's sad. Even this can do more than that. Although it has less to lose. I'm trying to help it. Yeah, that's about as much as you get. Well, going to the back. Not much, because it has butt cheek. Starting to notice a pattern here with butt cheeks. Well, that's a little unfortunate, but hey, let's look at side to side again, because I forgot to actually compare. So, fortunately for us, she can do splits. Well, I don't know how much you're going to need her to do that, but more or less the splits. More or less the same as the Victoria's Secret model. Is that why it's called Victoria? Because Victoria's Secret. So she's wearing lingerie or whatever. Alright, so about the same. Somewhere about the same. Yeah, that's okay. Not looking good for the articulation right now, because missing some crucial range, some crucial points of movement. Oh well. Knees. If you can get this out of the way. The knees go, oh my god, it's so hard to see. They do go all the way back, and they go beyond the butt, which I don't think is anatomically correct. Yeah, that looks a little too long. That's all I was saying, the legs are too long. The bottom part. Doesn't get in the way though. Die cut is right here. So that's fine. It's hidden really well. Toes. So besides this, you can move the toes normally. At least I think so. Should have the same. Oh no, they did it differently. What the hell? Or am I just like... Oh, okay. But just being dumb. Okay, so... articulation gets like a... I gotta give it a 7 because it's not as good. The one with no clothes on can do more. And also, these armor plates get in the way, so her arms don't sit like straight down, or straight as they can, which is kind of annoying. Because look at how spread out the arms are. Versus this one, which can have its arms like pretty much straight down. Like, look at the difference in the range. Like, she can't really do that. Also, one more thing before I forget, since I always do this. Yeah, have fucking fun trying to bring the arms inward. That is... ah, shit. That is not going to work at all. They do not go in. They can't. So... yeah, no crossing arms or anything like that. Which is unfortunate because it would look pretty cool. Most you get is something like this, but that doesn't really count. Yeah, so I think you're mostly just gonna leave her on the shelf and she looks cool, which I guess you do anyway with action figures. But yeah, that's all we got. Alright, so to get her, Victoria comes with the following accessories. She comes with a smiling neutral expression, more soft looking, like mouth open expression, her eyes a bit more wide open, a tee kind of winky face, and then like a pissed off, angry, yelling face. They all look pretty good, and they all have like the same like red blush that she has like around the nose and face, eye area, so that's fine. 2 pairs of relaxed hands. 2 different gripping hands for the right and the left that are barehanded, 2 separate trigger finger hands that are barehanded for the left and the right, and then a gloved trigger finger hand. It also comes with this rifle, which I already have the hand attached to, a sword or dagger looking thing that I also have the hand connected to, magazine for the gun, shield, an eye adjustment tool, and the figure stand. It comes with 2 figure stands, so you can have both of them stand up. So the gun I think is done really well. So as opposed to what they did with Milk Tea, where they just made you build it yourself and it was unpainted, this one is actually painted and it's all one single thing. So you can see that there's different shades of like a brown, to me it looked like a brownish gray, I'm not sure. It's like a brownish gray. There's a scope here that is actually made out of glass. Or some kind of see-through plastic. Wait, that's pretty cool. You see that? See how it's reflecting light? Yeah, so it has all the fit and finish and everything. You can see the little holes there for like where the screws and everything would be on the real gun. Little thing on the back here. Have the hand there. You can see right here, even... I guess it's upside down now. You can see right here, they even have like the handle for the trigger. Real nice. And they have these 2 little red things here. The scope is there. It's painted in the same color scheme, so it has that grayish green or whatever, and then the actual, you know, thing to shoot. And then it has this little adjustable, it has this little magazine thing that you put here. So you essentially just take this and this. Where is it? Oh, right, it's upside down. So you take this and this, and there you go. Now it's complete. Oh, come on. Oh, the hand came off, okay. Yeah, so you just do that, and that's pretty much it. As for the dagger has this really nice gold trim, like where the blade is. It's a really nice gold trim where the blade is, and it even has like the Aegis word written on it. It has this little thing here, maybe for adjustment or for holding it. I'm not sure. I know this is the handle. Yeah, so I think this looks pretty nice. I'm not sure if you're supposed to hold it from here or from here. To me, it looks like it's supposed to be from here, because why would you hold it from here? Yeah, then it has a little paint on here, so it all matches together. Aesthetically, like, it all matches. See, it has like the paint, and the same colors and everything, so I like that. And then you get the shield. Also has the word Aegis written on it. Same color scheme, different plating things here, some white here, here. This matches like the wrist, the wrist gauntlet on the armored one, and it has this little metallic thing and a little tiny plastic chain. We'll get into why this part is pretty cool later. Yeah, and then figure stand, well, the figure thing for the figure stand. Then the actual figure stand, and I believe it's from this side. It's identical to the Figma ones, I think. I don't know where these guys are getting their parts from. It comes with this big fucking grip. Like, look how big this grip is. So it just... Oh, does that not fit? Okay. Yeah, so you just go like that, and... Yeah, I think you should know how these things work already. And it can bend like this, go like that. You know, the whole song and dance. But it can go more flat from the back instead of from the front. It's more limited on the front for some reason. I think because of the angle of this thing? Yeah. But that's fine. You want it to do that. But then you can go like this. Then you can have it do this, so that's fine. Alright, so adjusting the eyes is easy. It's like Milk Tea and the Rhino, where you kind of just put this little tool here, and then you can go like this. A lot easier than Rhino. I don't know why Good Smile can't do it properly. Like this, four-sided, like this little cross-shaped like peg thing, much easier to adjust than the way Figma did it, where it was like a peg hole and you move some tool. Yeah, so you can adjust the eyes, and then do it like this one. Yeah, I know it's blurry, but hold on. And then you can go like this. Now she's looking off to the side slightly, and with that we can transition into putting the face back on. So I'm going to be putting the original face that was on the lingerie figure and put it on this one. Let's see if I can do that on camera without fucking up. Oh hey, that was easy. Yeah, so she's looking off to the side. Maybe not at the exact angle, because that eye is slightly downward, but whatever. Okay, can I put this back now? What the hell? Alright, one last thing I want to cover before I show you the other accessories. You can see right here that the peg holes for the hands are slightly off center, like they're in an angle, like the two pieces that connect, so that these hands can actually do a vertical up and down, like all the way, so it doesn't impede on the articulation. So that's so you can better grip the gun and the dagger. I think that's pretty cool actually. Okay, so somehow I almost lost this piece, but yeah, there's another gripping hand for just the gloved hand, so ignore what I said earlier. There's actually like a bunch of gripping hands. Yeah, so because of the angled peg, they actually made it easier to put the hands on for guns, because that's usually a big problem, where gun holding hands need to be angled in a way so they can grip it properly, especially when it has to be held from the side. So there you go. She can hold it properly and hopefully not have it fly out of her hand. Alright, now here's Victoria holding her weapons. And the last thing I want to show you before I close out is this thing right here. So you see that little thing? Take this. Bam. It's a fucking magnet. I think that's so cool. Look at that, it just fits perfectly. And it doesn't get in the way at all. Well, okay, it can still fall off. But you literally just go like this. And bam. It just goes back into place. Look at how seamless that is. So now you can just have her like this. Ah, shit. Alright, so overall, what do I think of the Snail Shell Victoria figure? I think it's actually pretty good. It's just that there's a few things that I think hold it back from being amazing. Like one, the upper body just not being as flexible as it should be. Like, why can it not lean forward? Like, I don't get that. Like the previous Snail Shell with the milk tea, like the torso on that one was practically useless. Like, it was only good for leaning back, and it didn't have like a diaper piece, so that it didn't have an individual like abdomen area, so it couldn't even like twist and turn its like torso around and everything. Like, it was pretty much pointless. This one, on the other hand, you actually can adjust it so that it can like move to the side, like tilt to the side like this, or go up and down or whatever. Like, okay, but this diaper piece is way too small. Like, why are the sides here should be a little bit longer and a bit wider. Like, I get they made it like vertical so that the legs can kick out, but I think the legs can kick out regardless. And granted, like, it can kick higher than 90 degrees, it can kick up like this, so that's alright. The other thing is that the neck doesn't move, and the shoulder, it has no shoulder butterfly joints, so it can't really do a whole lot of crazy poses. Like, this one can, like the lingerie one can, because it's not really wearing anything, so it's basically like a base body. So it can pose pretty well, but it still has the limitations that the previous one had, because it's just missing certain points of articulation that it just doesn't have. And yeah, they improved it with the double ball peg neck, which is great, with the head joint, but there's still some limitations just because the neck can't move. Let me see. The pegs for the hands kind of are a little too easy to come off. Like, the hands can come off a little too easy when you're messing around with them, which is annoying. The hair was a little bit difficult to take off for some reason, but it's fixed now. I got it. Let's see. Okay, so for the armored one, I do not like the lack of abdomen articulation, like the waist, and no diaper piece or anything, no floating piece. So it's just all one, like, stomach to butt area. It's just kind of very limiting. The articulation on it is way more limited than this one. But this one has all these awesome accessories. So I don't know, either you mess around with this one, you because you won't want to girl in her underwear, I guess, to do poses. Or you mess around with this one, and that's one that's slightly less questionable and also can't pose as well, but it does look cooler because it has all these weapons. And I found out that the elbow pad can be adjusted so that you can actually pose it properly. So that's how I was able to get more than 90 degrees, but still, like, this one can go like way beyond 90 degrees, and then this one can't. So I don't know what's going on there. And then the other thing is that the toes or the heels for this thing are annoying because the back of the heel is actually at an angle and doesn't go straight down. So it's very weird and awkward to like have it stand up. So you kind of have to put the feet in weird angle, in either kind of straight, or you have to adjust the toes or whatever to get it to work properly. And I don't understand that. Most of the time when you do high heels, you just need it to be straight. Like the back of it on the heel to be straight so that the figure can actually... What in the fuck is going on? So the figure can actually stand up straight. And even with the ankle pivot, it's still a bit messy. Like this thing likes to fall over a lot, and I've had it fall over like 10 times already just trying to do this video. So there's that. That's a problem. The gripping hands are good, but trying to keep the gun in the gun hand, the trigger finger hand in the gun, a little annoying because it doesn't seem like it's strong enough. Like the peg in the hand doesn't feel like it's strong enough to hold on to that gun, because I guess the gun is really long since it's a fucking sniper rifle. So I don't know. And also they don't seem to have a proper hand to grip the gun from like the longer part of it. So you have like a two-handed gun holding pose. I'm not sure how it's supposed to hold the gun with two hands. I have to look at the promo images probably to look at that. But yeah, it doesn't have like a more open like gripping hand. Like they have a relaxed open palm hand, but they don't have something that looks like it's trying to grip it like from far, like with a more wide grip. So there's that. And also the articulation is way more limited on this thing. Like in addition to the lack of waist articulation, the torso can't move as well as the other one on the right, to your right. And it's also like, why does it have problems with the feet? Why? I know that the armor gets in the way. Like the armor can be adjusted, but it doesn't feel like there's any real point to it, unless you just want to look at the cleavage. And the shoulders can't really go inward at all because, you know, the armor gets in the way. So it kind of makes like certain gun poses a little hard to do, and maybe like sword or dagger holding poses a little difficult. I do love the shoulder pads. I think they're cool. They kind of get in the way, but they look cool, and they do hide like the gaps in the joints, so that's fine. I don't think that the head, like little things on her little headpiece, those little gold things, much as I like them, they kind of get in the way of like moving the head, especially on the armored one, because it's just in the way, and it bumps into the shoulders and everything. It's just a little annoying. I love the shield. Why do I keep getting confused? I love the shield. It's just a magnet. Like, yeah, it'll keep falling off, but I'd rather it keep falling off than break. So all I have to do is just put it back on, and then that's it. So leave it in pose, do that, whatever. Okay, so in the middle of the review, something really bad happened, and yeah, you can see right here. I swear I had some really bad luck. The arm on this broke, and it's not like this in this instance where, like, you know, you could just pop the arm off and then just put it back on. Like, it literally broke. Like, look, you can see right here. See right here, the peg for the arm literally broke. The ball joint is still connected to the socket. It's super recessed, which is another reason why, like, the shoulders don't move as far as they should. But regardless of that, look, you can see right here, look, it chipped off. It's chipped. So yeah, that's bad. But I cannot get this bitch to appear on camera like properly. Yeah, you can see, look, it's chipped and it's broken. So, like, I'm gonna have to take points off of this because it says something about the quality control where I'm messing around with it the whole time. And you can see here, this joint is fine. Like, this one works perfectly fine. See that I can go like this, go like this, pull it down, pull it up, go like this, tug it a little bit, go like that. See, the only problem with this one is that these two joints don't stick together perfectly. So that's what happens. Like, this part like comes off, but I can just, you know, snap it back on. Perfectly fine. You can see right here, see it's failing to stick together. So that's a problem. So yeah, this is bad. Says a lot about the quality control, which sucks because I don't necessarily think these figures are bad. It's just, I don't know, I either got a really bad copy or maybe I was too rough on it, which I don't think I was. I was about as rough as I usually am with the figures, which is not too rough. I try to be careful with these things, but yeah, this thing completely broke. Now I gotta add this whole section to the video, figure out where to splice it in so that you can see it. Okay, so whatever score I gave it at the end of the video, you're gonna see the score at the end of the video. Subtract like a couple of points from that, and I'll let you know what the ultimately the score is afterwards. Because, you know, you can't really enjoy a figure when it's broken. Luckily for me, I guess this one is not broken at all. It still bends the same way. If you move the armor, you know, still does that. If you can still, you know, get the same 90 or so degree bend. The only problem with this one is that the arms constantly come off when I'm trying to move it around. But the difference is that, you know, you can kind of just put it back. I'm trying to force it to come off now, but yeah. See here, this one's fine. This one has a problem where the arm constantly comes off because the two armor pieces here kind of bump into each other. Did I break that? No, I didn't break anything. See, you can see right here, see, it's trying to pop off. So you have to like, see, and then it pushes that out, and then, yeah. So that's a minor problem, it's more of an annoyance. But it's better than having a figure that literally broke the peg. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to subtract a massive amount of points from this. Which sucks, because I don't want to, because, you know, I'd rather the figure be good, but, you know, if it breaks and there's quality control issues, then, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to take points off, because look at this shit. This bitch lost her arm. And I can't easily attach it back on, because it's literally broken. So I have to, like, find a way to crazy glue this and put, like, the smallest amount of crazy glue, or Gorilla Glue, and then just kind of stick it on like this and hold it for like 20 minutes, which is gonna be annoying, and then just let it go, and then just don't touch this arm. Like, she's gonna be handicapped essentially. Yeah, so, oh well, unfortunate side effect of, I guess, trying to review this thing. But nothing else broke on it. Like, the neck is fine, torso's fine. Like, I've had it pop off, but it's fine, it doesn't break. This arm is fine. Because this one kept making a squeaking sound, so I had a big assumption that, yeah, that something's gonna happen to that thing if I keep using it. And I guess it did. Something did happen. Nothing's wrong here. It has a tendency to pop off if I push it into certain angles, but it'll just pop off and I can just put it back on. Same with this one. These are fine, you know, still functions perfectly fine. Everything's fine, but unfortunately the arm broke, so oh well. This shit has to be cursed. I swear this figure is cursed, because Okay. I swear this figure is cursed because just as I was about to go back and take more photos with the shield on, because, you know, the shield connects via magnet, the fucking magnet came off and it was stuck here, and then I got it off. I was trying to put it back, and then now I lost it because this floor is like black with like white on it, and there's no way I'm finding a magnet that fucking tiny. So what the hell happened to the quality control, like, as I was going through this fucking review? Like, it just fucking fell apart. And you know, this arm isn't technically broken because it's just, you just connect this part. Yeah, you just connect this thing to this thing. So you just kind of, you know, you just do that. But then look at this, like the figure has a hard time moving the damn arm up because it just disconnects from this thing because it's not secured. Like, what the fuck happened to the quality control as I went on to review it? It is broken. Look, it's broken, literally broken. I've showed this already, but like, look, it's broken. So I have to super glue or do something about this to fix it, and she's pissed because it's broken. Okay, now it just went from bad to worse because now this fucking left arm broke off as well. Really hard to see. Push this thing focus. Yeah, you see, now this arm broke, and in case you don't think it's the same, in case you think it's the right arm, I have both right here. And both are broken. Like, I was just trying to rotate the arm to make sure that it worked, and now I can't because the peg is broken. It's, again, they're both still connected to the socket. And to make sure I wasn't like going crazy, like, I took the head off of this one, the armored one, and rotated it up and down all the way 360 just to see if I was like insane and if the quality control was actually good, because you can see even with this crazy joint that connects the shoulder armor, look, it still functions. You see this? You can see, look, it's still functioning perfectly fine. See? Look. Making sure that I do everything correctly without fucking it up. Bam, you see? So the armored one is way better in terms of QC. I don't know how that happened. They should essentially be the same figure. But look, just in case, here's it on the other arm. Moving the armor out of the way so I don't break something. Look at that, look at that. Look. All the way, all the way, all the way. And then right here, all the way, all the way. What happened here? This one's broken. Now that both arms are broken, I'm giving it a fucking 6. Because that means, like, I'm giving it a 6. Because there's still a lot of good from this and the accessories that it comes with and the extra hands. But, like, this is broken. This thing is legit broken now. And I lost the magnet because the magnet came off of this hand. Now I can't use the shield, which I didn't really use it anyway because it kept falling off. But yeah, like, really? No wonder she's so upset because she broke. Articulation's not bad. This one had really good leg. Both of them have really good leg articulation, but the underwear one is the best one, I think, out of the two in terms of articulation, because it has the double jointed knees. The armor doesn't get in the way. You know, you could bend it like this, you could go like this, you can have it sit down, which I'll post a picture of. You can have it sit down, which is pretty cool. Have it looking more natural. Yeah, and then the arms are supposed to be able to rotate and kind of go inward to the chest, but it kind of doesn't. And these things just suck. And the way they did the arm shoulder joint or whatever, now it sucks because two separate pieces, and then this thing either has too much resistance or it's not strong enough on the outside part where the arm is to help it rotate like with no problem. Like I don't get why they didn't just use like some type of double ball peg system, kind of like Figma or like Bandai. Could have figured out some kind of hinge or ball peg, but like, they did something really weird here. Yeah, and you know, good accessories. I don't like how long the leg is. Like this is too long. It should be up to here. The foot should be here, not here. And like expressions and everything. And alright, whatever. I'm done now. Hopefully the next video, the next figure I review isn't broken. Bye.